Warren from Massachusetts is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So in recent years, our banking sector has become more and more dominated by the largest banks. Community banks are being gobbled up by larger competitors or forced to shut down because they can't compete on a level playing field. This results in more concentration, in higher costs for consumers, and in increased systemic risks for our financial system, and fewer total banks. These transactions are happening in plain view of the federal agencies whose job it is to keep our system safe and competitive. In fact, every single bank merger requires affirmative approval from the Department of Justice and a banking regulator. Banking regulators like the people we have in front of us today. So, Chairman Williams, the FDIC has a searchable database of all merger applications the agency has received since 2013. That's over 7 years now. Do you know how many merger applications the FDIC has received in that time?
I don't have the exact number.
I do. It's 1,124. Chair McWilliams, how many mergers out of those 1,124 did the FDIC deny? Total number of denials for any reason whatsoever.
I don't have that number, Senator, but I know that we go through the statutory process required.
I do have the number.
Okay.
It's 0. So this isn't just a problem at the FDIC. The FDIC, the Federal Reserve, and the OCC combined have not formally denied a single bank merger in 15 years. Merger review has become the definition of a rubber stamp, and the banks know it. And it's time for some changes. So just saying we're going to get tougher on this is not likely to persuade anyone, and certainly not a multi-billion-dollar bank. Bright lines could help set a new tone. So let me ask you, Acting Controller Sue, are banking agencies like yours currently required to reject mergers when the resulting bank will be bigger or more complex than our banking rules are set up to handle?
Are they required?
That's my question.
I believe one of the statutory factors for bank merger review involves financial stability.
I'm not asking the question, may you consider. I'm looking for bright lines here. Are you required to reject a merger?
I don't believe so, but I would have to check with my general.
Well, I think the answer is no, you're not required. So you may want to look again. Let me ask about another possible bright line. What if the banks trying to merge don't receive the highest ratings in their Community Reinvestment Act exams to measure how well they're serving their communities? Are you required to reject a merger then?
I don't believe so.
No, you're not. So how about one more bright line? What if the merger could result in increased costs for consumers because of a lack of competition? Are you required to reject the merger then?
I don't believe so.
So the data here show that regulators have no credibility on mergers. And sure, there are rules under which you review mergers, but in practice for 15 years now, this is turned into a check-the-box exercise where the outcome has been predetermined. Merger review has become a rubber stamp. That's why I was happy to see that President Biden's competition executive order called on the banking agencies to revamp their merger review guidelines to put an end to rubber stamping. And soon I'll be reintroducing my Bank Merger Review Modernization Act with Congressman Garcia to revamp the bank merger process and strengthen and modernize the standards under which mergers are considered. Our regulators have a job to do, and it's our job here in Congress to make sure that they do it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Warren. Senator Cortez Masto is recognized from Nevada for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member.